You know, one of the things that sucks of having Mikey Boy front and center is that the camera's autofocus will focus on his face instead of mine. Wrong pale white boy camera. We're finally in the year where my most anticipated horror movie, Halloween Kills, is set to come out, or as I still like to refer to it as Halloween Stabby Stabby. We got a few more tidbits of the movie just to start that hype train going until the 10-month wait for it in October. So be sure you guys leaving a like down below if you're still looking forward to Halloween Stabby Stabby, and comment what you think of all the topics we talk about today. So one of the most recent things that just happened concerning Halloween Kills is Anthony Michael Hall, who will be playing Tommy Doyle in Halloween Kills, was recently doing an interview. Something I found kind of funny is that the interviewer asked him about playing the role of Tommy Doyle that was once played by Paul Rudd, and he had this to say on that. So one day David Gordon Green texts me when I'm off, and he goes, "Yeah, I got a call from Paul Rudd and he sends his best and gives you his blessing. He's really excited that you're playing that part. I never met Paul Rudd, but I thought that was really nice." And that sounds like such a Paul Rudd thing to say. But as a Halloween fan, I do a double take at that and go, did Paul Rudd have to give his blessing for the role of Tommy Doyle? Because he wasn't the original Tommy Doyle. But would you Halloween fans call Paul Rudd the definitive Tommy Doyle? Is he the one who made that role the most famous? Earlier last year, he was set to be Paul Rudd in Halloween Kills, even though this is a completely different timeline that isn't connected to the time Paul Rudd played Tommy Doyle in another Halloween movie. But scheduling conflicts with Ghostbusters Afterlife prevented him from doing that, and I was bummed out at first. I remember going like, damn, I would have loved to have seen Paul Rudd go up against Michael Myers. But then when we have those set photos of Halloween Kills, and then seeing that intensity in Anthony Michael Hall's face, I now have no regrets, and I think he's going to be completely perfect for the role. I just can't see Paul Rudd sitting at this bar and having a deadly serious face that makes him look like he means business. I still see him as the funny guy, but maybe he could have pulled it off. Jumping from that though, talking about the actual movie and information on it, he didn't have much to say, but he did go and say the Halloween Kills will be really intense. That might not seem like much and just seems like a random little detail thrown out there. Heck, you could even say Halloween 2018 was pretty intense. But when you pair that up with the comments Robert Longstreet made a couple months ago on Halloween Kills, he's going to be playing Lonnie, the grown-up Lonnie, in Halloween Kills, who is also the father of the boyfriend of the young Strode daughter in Halloween 2018. He mentioned this about the movie: "I don't think I can say anything about Halloween Kills except it might be the nastiest of them all. It has some terrifying scenes in it. I can feel the Halloween goosebumps are flowing. 10 months away, that's such a long time for this movie." But that leads me to my main topic of this video that I definitely want your guys' input on what you think is I strongly believe Halloween Kills is gonna go for the biggest body count in any Michael Myers movie. I think all signs are pointing to that being the case, and if that doesn't make you so excited that we're just gonna see Michael knife happy, stabbing every way left and right, what are you doing watching this video? I mean, for one, we have that title, Halloween Kills. I'm still not a huge fan of it. It's slowly growing on me, and I'm sure by the time the movie actually comes out, I'll really like that title. But you gotta admit, that word right there is not there by mistake. It definitely points to the intensity this movie's gonna have and how Michael is just gonna go after everybody. When we got that teaser trailer a while back of how Michael is most likely gonna escape from that basement with a Halligan bar and taking down a bunch of firefighters, that's most likely gonna be 5 body counts in the opening of the movie. And you pair that up with the knowledge that this Halloween movie takes place the same night as the 2018 Halloween film, technically that body count is even bigger because it all happens in one night, solidifying Michael Myers as the Halloween maniac. I pulled up the 3 Michael Myers movies with the highest body count so you get an idea of what they have to be. Number 3 on the list is actually Halloween 2018. That rounded up to 16 body counts. It makes sense why they went with such a high body count for the first movie in this newly rebooted Michael Myers universe, because when a guy has about 7 to 8 different movies and then you wipe his slate to just one movie, you got some catching up to do to make this guy a legitimate serial killer. Which I think only supports the argument why this new Halloween movie would go for such a high body count, because they have so many movies they just wiped away that are no longer canon. They gotta add a couple of numbers to Michael Myers' list to make him threatening again. Or at least stand in line with these other mofos. Number 2 on the list is Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, also known as Halloween 6, with good old Paul Rudd in here. Probably one of the most controversial Halloween movies, dealing with that Cult of Thorns stuff and some weird things Michael and his siblings. Not gonna get into that. But a lot of that had to do with Michael turning on the cult and going after those members, which is one of the things I'm cautious about with this new Halloween movie, because if it's just Michael walking down the street, stabbing, throw away, stabbing, throw away, stabbing, throw away, that's not as fun, and you're just purposely building up this boy's body count. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the scene in Halloween 2018 where he's finally walking the streets of Haddonfield and going in different houses, in and out, stabbing left and right. There was taste to that. But I still want me the creative takedowns, the ones that make your jaw drop to go, whoa. The one that isn't just a knife to the back, a knife to the front. Something kind of creepy like the police officer who got carved into a pumpkin head. And with one of the cast members talking about this movie just being the nastiest, I can only envision how crazy some of the takedowns of this movie are actually going to be. And number 1 on the list with the highest body count in a Michael Myers movie, Halloween 2017, or Rob Zombie's Halloween. Now, believe it or not, I don't hate this movie. I know there's a large portion of people who dislike it, but I did not mind this interpretation at all. Sure, the whole Michael being a bullied kid and that's why he turns into who he is kind of meh. But you can't deny how brutal that film actually is, how intense some of the takedowns are, just how uncomfortable you get watching Michael go after somebody. That's the stuff I love in a Michael Myers film. But it is also one of the reasons critics did not love the movie. There is this unspoken rule between critics whenever there's a movie with just too much gore or gore over the top that just, I don't know, turns them off. Just look at a lot of the Saw franchise or the Hostel movies. Whenever that section of horror is glorified, people pan the movie, and that kind of worries me for this new Halloween movie, because I know there's a lot of people out there who say, who cares what the critics think? They don't know. I agree, but general audiences, they listen to what the critics say and they take in part that Rotten Tomatoes score or whatever score shows up online that lets them know, is this worth spending my money on, or is this going to be a waste of time? And having a movie that has a good score just shoots it up to another level. And even though we're already guaranteed Halloween Ends, I still want them to continue making Halloween movies after that one. And if people are just bashing it just because of how unnecessary violent it is, that's gonna be a bummer. But I have the strongest hopes that Halloween Stabby Stabby is gonna find that perfect balance of having such a huge body count, making the violence tasteful without too in your face, and giving us that unsettling factor that, man, Michael Myers is ruthless. And to me, I believe this means Halloween Ends won't be as body count high. I think that one will be more focused on the characters, on where they're being left off, how the story will end, and that's the way to cap off a good little trilogy, or quadrilogy if you count the original. But anyways, guys, I want to hear your opinion on this new Halloween movie coming up. Do you think it'll go for that high body count? How can it not with the title they've given it? What do you think of some of the comments made by the cast? Anything and everything, you guys go ahead and leave your thoughts down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.